Hi there. I have made another Minecraft door, and it's time for me to show it off. A little bit more complicated than the last one, but also it's a little bit cooler. So here is the door. It's gonna pull back, and you may have to wait a little bit for the system to... There we go. So the door has now opened, and in a moment... Yeah, these will slide in, and there we go. So, in this video, I want to show you how I built the door because, believe it or not, it is a very cool sort of system. I've spent quite a lot of effort into making it function. It is not a very fast door, but believe it or not, it is a very cool door. So let's open it back up again. Sadly, this is not the best area to be in at the moment. I need to show you how this works, and we'll start off with the door in the open state, because that'll make the most sense. So when you first hit this button, this will go around and trigger this little flip-flop thing. This will then go through this on-off system. Right now, it's the opening mechanism that's triggered already, and then when you hit it again, it'll trigger the closing mechanism. This will then first tell the flying machine on the left and the flying machine on the right that are basically covering up the sides to move out of the way. Once this flying machine has moved down to its resting position while it's open, another signal is going to be fired over here telling this flying machine to move. When this flying machine moves into the spot, this is the one with the doors, it is going to trigger, well, a few things. First of all, there are 3 pistons here that are going to push out these 3 sticky pistons up there. These are going to be what's going to allow the door to actually move so it's flush. But to trigger the pistons, we will then be using this guy who will activate at the same point in time, whose only purpose is to push these 3 redstone blocks in there so that those pistons can activate. And when we push it again, we'll have the exact same thing happen, but in reverse. You will see. So first of all, if I may hit the button, you'll see the flying machines are going up. Next up, the big flying machine is moving in. Then, once that's done, these pistons have been popped up, and there we go. That's the mechanism. Now, when we have to close this, it kind of functions in reverse, which is the funny part, but not that much in reverse. You see, the moment this is triggered, 2 things happen. The closing mechanism has been sped up from the old version. First of all, this this flying machine goes back over there. And simultaneously, this flying machine that has for now been unused will actually be used. Its only purpose is to push these sticky pistons down back into the hole, and then it lifts back up, and then after that, the mechanism will move back and the doors will close in. So, if I may show you this immediately, this is going back as this is pushed down, this then goes back up, and as that happens, the door is moved out of the way, and the little side doors will close in, and... well, there you go. Now, could have I maybe had a much more complicated system that maybe used dual flying machines to push this completely out of the way, and then, like, plugged the holes down there? Maybe. Maybe I could have done that. I really like it when absolutely 0, I call them system blocks, are visible. So, you know, no slime blocks, no pistons, but I think for what it is, this version works great, because the more you focus on that, the longer it'll take. It isn't as cool as my last door, maybe in terms of vibes, but I think mechanically this one's way cooler. Also, the use of black concrete here, it was kind of a mistake not putting it directly on the line with the wall, but it's not exactly the most 2D door. You can see, yeah, I would need to do some weird things to make sure the redstone is maybe a little bit more comprehensible. But yeah, that's the door. But the video isn't over yet. So, the other thing I want to show you really quickly is another system, and it's over here. You may be wondering, what does this actually do? Well, we can't push the button from here, but once we do, I may have made a bit of a minecart elevator. I thought about making a diagonal one, but that sounds way more complicated. But diagonal elevators in video games are always really cool, though I think a vertical one's fine enough. If you don't stand on those blocks, it should be fine. But yeah, this will then, you know, place itself in, and then you just hold W and you can head back. I hope that was cool enough for you, because believe it or not, I am sort of working on a bit of a thing. Maybe I'll make a video on it when it's done. It's kind of an on and off thing once I get more ideas. But generally speaking, I am a pretty huge fan of, like, you know, just messing around with redstone, with secret bases and stuff. If this area looks familiar, this is because it's from the last video, where you have this system. Yeah, it all leads back, and then I've built some other stuff. Generally speaking, if you want to look into how to make this kind of stuff, there's sort of like online tutorials on how to use the random mechanics. And I'm just gonna kind of show you some of this random stuff for no particular reason. I mean, you know, why not? But yeah, I've been playing around with some stuff that I've done in the previous video. I've cooked everything up. Thankfully, you know, with the help of World Edit, I can make this stuff actually function in a way where it doesn't take me, like, 50 years to, you know, finish something. But yeah, I hope this video has been interesting enough, because it has been interesting enough for me. And I'll see you next time, or whenever. I'm really not sure. Bye-bye.